Swap that guy out.
Just do a little evasive maneuvering. Oh.
Serpentine.
Hold on. And, you know, it's all coming back to me here.
There we go.
Hey, folks. Welcome to PlayStation Underground. We are here checking out Dark Souls Remastered with my good pal, Zach Miner. You're a big Dark Souls expert.
Dark Souls Remastered, Sid.
I know, so good. We're playing on PS4 Pro, and I'm also joined by Dalton Link from Bandai Namco.
How's it going, guys?
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for giving
here.
us an early look at this game, and what's looking mighty fine so far.
Wow, yeah, this looks really good. This horrific prison has never looked better.
So on PS4 Pro, tell me a little bit about the tech specs we can expect.
We're playing PS4 Pro right now, 60 frames at 4K.
Great.
So super excited to kind of bring the definitive experience of Dark Souls to all the PlayStation fans.
Well, I'm one of those fans, and I'm going to be playing the crap out of this when this hits. This is in May, right?
Yeah, May 25th, 2018. It hits PlayStation and PlayStation Pro.
Excellent.
Now, one of the surprising features in this one is that you have to play as this person here. This.
Yeah, it's actually locked in at the beginning. No, Zach had some fun with the sliders of the character creator coming in, so he made his who he wants to be. Is that who you think you are in the Dark Souls universe?
You know, I just try to represent myself in games whenever I can. So this is our deprived creature here.
And what character name did you go with?
A powerhouse to as a little nod to our good pal Ryan Clements, who
nice.
Cannot join us today.
Awesome. So, you know, if you're a fan, an old school fan of Dark Souls, you know where we are. We're in the Undead Asylum, starting out in the cell. So we're just going to take you through a section of the game here and show you a little bit of what Dark Souls Remastered has to offer.
I am digging this frame rate right out the gate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
These rolls feel so good, Sid.
Yeah.
I bet.
So tell us a little bit about what kind of class you chose and why you went with this this particular style.
Well, you know, I figure it would be a fun little challenge. And Sid and I decided before we started recording here, since both of us were kind of dying to play, that I would kind of start off and would go as far as I can until I die, and then Sid will take the reins here.
That's right. I'll probably do worse than you, but
That's always a good way to play, you know.
there you go.
I mean, if you've played Dark Souls, you know you will die. It's very difficult not to die. So if you're playing kind of with another person, you can always pass the controller on deaths.
That's a nice angle.
I mean, you know, rated M for mature.
And glistening 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking good, though.
Yeah.
It's a nice update.
Yeah, and, you know, having that smooth 60 frames, as you mentioned before, really gives you that fluidity of motion. And everyone knows that motion is a pretty important thing in Dark Souls.
It surely is.
Yes.
Keep that stamina high and keep rolling.
What I love about this is when this game came out, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't ready for it. I was a real newbie. Ooh. Look at that.
I should have taken the advice.
Yeah, you wanted to get that cinematic moment.
Oh,
boy.
come on, come on.
No, this is too. Not like this. Not like this.
I was not ready. Oh, that's it.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, Asylum
First
Demon.
death, there it is. We need a counter.
Well,
Pass it over.
That was shameful.
Yeah.
That was shameful.
It's all part of the game,
Yeah.
Zach. Don't get too stressed out. I wasn't ready for this game, though. Are you an inverter?
I'm not an inverter.
Oh, great.
You have to play. Wait, didn't I? Oh, I guess I forgot to light the bonfire.
There we go. That's how you play a video game.
Interesting tactic. Do you also play with the menu open? Is that
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got to make sure he has easy access. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
At all times. That's what real Dark Souls players do.
There you go. So yeah, we were kind of talking a little bit before about kind of our process of getting into these games. And I think like a lot of the people who have eventually become kind of the diehard Souls fans, my first trip down into Lordan was not a successful one. But you know,
you're not alone.
right? Yeah, but like part of the joy of this game is like that experience of discovery.
Definitely.
Right? And being like, wait, so is this supposed to be this hard? Am I just really bad at this game?
Yeah, you
Yep.
never really know what's around the next corner, and that's kind of that exploration and that exhilaration is a big part of the experience, right?
Absolutely.
And it's a game that's always throwing curveballs at you, and you don't really know what the new enemy type's going to be like, or when a boss battle's kind of coming up. So that's that exhilaration, or when you see the bonfire and you're like, there it is, I gotta get there, and then something knocks you right before you get it, and you lose your souls.
Of course, or you're having your confident run through the tutorial area, and then you suddenly die.
I mean, to your credit, you did pick Deprived.
That is true. Yeah, so Sid, you were suggesting that we pick a different class, correct?
I was all about the Pyro, because that's what real Dark Souls
and
players
I was all
do.
about the Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, so I will say, I was chiding Sid a little bit, joking that, the Pyro to some perhaps is considered easy mode in Dark Souls.
Ooh.
There's no easy mode in Dark Souls.
Shots fired.
But
Fireballs fired.
I will admit now to you on the air, Sid, that Pyro was the class that actually got me into the game.
Exactly. It has high elemental resistance, high poison resistance, as I recall. It's just a good starting point. So if you've always wanted to play Dark Souls, but it's intimidating, choose Pyro. The hand axe is an excellent weapon to start the game with.
Yep.
You got some fireballs there.
You can lob those at the skeletons.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I would also say you want to get that club out, Sid.
This guy.
Yeah, you need to.
It's an aggressive play with the broken sword.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You picked up the club, so I think you can swap that guy out.
Just do a little evasive maneuvering. Oh.
Serpentine.
Hold on, and it's all coming back to me here.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. I got
there
it.
we go. Yeah.
Perfect. Everything's going to be great from here on out.
But yeah, and this is perhaps even more shameful than just using the Pyro. But it was the Pyro combined with, if I dare say, a special sword that you can get early on.
I think fans of the series will know that maneuver.
Yes, indeed.
And now you can see that swinging tail and all its glory.
Yeah, just shoot 50 arrows at it.
Yeah, go up here, Sid. Nothing,
there's
nothing to
nothing
worry
there.
about. Oh!
I like this area because it's like a microcosm of the entire game. They really show you this is what you can expect. You're not gonna know what's gonna happen. Balls might roll down the stairs. You might go into a room that's in the first few minutes of the game. There's a giant boss battle.
Exactly. I'm doing better than Zach. That's the main thing.
Yeah, but you don't know where to go, Sid.
I don't.
So go back upstairs.
Yeah,
go back upstairs.
You have an opportunity upstairs.
I should rest.
Make sure you lock in those 80 souls.
That's right.
Back up there.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Zach, there are a lot of everyone kind of has a different experience how they got into the game. This game, the original Dark Souls came out on PlayStation in 2011, so it's great to see, it kind of fully remastered and just kind of. We want to bring it to a new generation of players, but also bring the best possible experience to the classic fans.
Totally.
It's something that the fans have been asking for a long, long time. So we're definitely excited to bring it to them. Yeah, you got to get your Estus.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'll die soon. I wish to ask.
I don't want to spoil any of this story.
Fair enough.
Regrettably.
So if fans don't know, he's getting the Estus flask,
which I really need.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is
part of
how you heal in the Dark Souls games. You have a limited amount of uses, but if you rest at the bonfire, you can replenish it.
Yep, absolutely. And one of the things that that I think is so great about Dark Souls, again, kind of is that element of discovery, right? Like, we're telling you right now, obviously, that kind of the Estus Flask is kind of one of the key mechanics in the game to survive. But there's nothing really in the game that explicitly tells you that, right? Like it's kind of about that process of discovery, of being like, so how do I
you have a few ways to kind of get some facts here. They'll tell you kind of the basic controls, and obviously when you play online, people have the opportunity to leave messages as well. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not.
I love that. You can mislead people. Is this the right way?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are
you ready for this?
I hope so. Which button do I hit? Is it R1?
R1, yeah.
I just fall off an R1?
The falling attack, yeah.
Ah.
Oh no!
You missed it.
It's all part of the fun.
Yeah. You wanted a pure experience.
That's right.
You can, if you click R3, you can lock in. Oh, you can find. There's Zach's dead body.
Yeah,
I think he had 0 souls.
Oh yes.
I had 80.
Thank you.
Oh, 60.
All right, Sid. Here we go.
Oh, off to a good start.
Yeah, so I remember the first time I played this,
Oh.
the sheer kind of how big this battle was. The first time
Yeah.
you go in, I was just like,
Healed.
wow, this game is on
Yeah.
another level.
Definitely.
I'm like, I'm used to, a fun tutorial to kind of take you through the ropes of the game. Nope, you're in a boss battle.
That's right out of the gate. Oh, oh.
So speaking of boss battles, what are some of
Bam.
the boss battles in Dark Souls history that you guys remember?
Oh man. I think this one is perhaps not the craziest or really in retrospect the most difficult, but I think the moment of true kind of like Dark Souls immersion is the gargoyles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That to me is like the major
bell gargoyles?
checkpoint in the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right? Because you feel pretty like the Taurus demon is definitely a little bit tougher than the asylum demon. Hopefully we'll get up to them.
Yeah.
But those gargoyles, the first time you fight the gargoyles, you think there's absolutely no way that I can defeat
Yep.
them. At least that's how I felt.
Absolutely.
And they kind of throw you for a loop, right? Because you start fighting one, and then they bring in the second
Yeah,
one, and you're
right?
like, oh, I think I got this. And then all of a sudden, you're just getting hit from multiple angles. You're like, how do you beat this?
Totally.
And that's fun too. One thing I always liked about the game is you kind of have to reassess your strategy constantly.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, that time I went over there, or that time I tried to put damage on one of them as much as I could, or should I divvy up the damage? And
Yep.
that's something you're kind of always thinking about while you're playing. And I think that's why so many fans have kind of gravitated towards this title, and kind of why it has the legacy that it does. Is there's so many ways to approach it. There's so much strategy involved. You can, Sid went with the Pyromancer. I always preferred going for kind of the warrior. I always liked the high stamina, high vitality, good movement,
Yeah.
low armor.
Yep.
Some
Yeah.
people like the heavy armors.
I could never deal with the fat roll.
Yeah,
I,
see,
I
it's-
had to be on the quick roll.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
This is where Mr. Squeaks is, or whatever. What's the bird's name?
Mr. Squeaks.
Mr. that giant bird. You know what I'm talking about.
In the
He's got some crazy name.
it is stated
I thought it was Mr. Squeaks, but I got something wrong.
that one day an undead shall be chosen.
There we go.
This moment too, I remember the first time
Yeah.
I played it was like, whoa, this is next level.
Yeah, and then you drop the rubbish in his nest and you get the sweet items.
Yeah,
Remember all
yeah.
that? This is such a walk down memory lane.
Oh man, and like the bell gargoyle fight, I probably completed that fight like 3 or 4 times on different playthroughs before I even realized that you can like chop off the axe or the tail
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
get the weapon from that,
Yeah.
right? Like, gosh, it really rewards time investment, and yeah, it's so fun to just kind of discover these hidden
It is.
elements.
What's your weapon of choice in this one?
Gosh, what was my weapon of choice? I think I really enjoyed like the core mace I think you get early on, and then you just invest really heavily in
Yeah.
that, right? Like I think one of the really good strategies in this game is that like you get a new weapon and you actually it's perhaps not great to just like swap to that immediately when you get a new weapon, right? It's like if you choose a weapon or you find a weapon that you like the moveset, then really investing in that can be more rewarding.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of it, Dark Souls is about feel.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are in RPG games. They're like, oh, I want to get the most powerful weapon, or
Yeah.
I want this weapon because I think it has the best stats. But sometimes in Dark Souls, you're like, oh, I actually like the way that this feels. I like the flow of this weapon, so I'm gonna invest my resources into making that one better because I feel like I can be the most effective. Like for me, I always like the long swords because I liked how I always put the shield on the back for the most part in movement, but if
Okay.
you really need the sword and board kind of moment,
Yeah.
when there's a lot of ranged attackers or you just feel like you're getting bombarded, you have that kind of safety blanket. You're like, oh, I have the shield.
Absolutely.
This is also a famous room.
Yeah.
Things change here a
Yes.
little
Yeah,
later in the
yeah.
game.
Indeed.
Oh, so good.
Oh, you can actually, if you go down here, Sid, it's really easy.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think it's a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, where should I go? What do you guys think?
You should go to the undead Berg.
Yeah, I would say let's go up and let's see if we can get to the Taurus demon.
Yeah. Is that you have
So-
to direct me?
You have to go out and then to the left.
Ah, yes.
You can also go down here and you get a few items if you want.
Let's
if you come
get some
around
items.
here, you can talk to this this NPC right here too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is all coming back to me, but you'll have to just be patient with me.
Yeah, sure.
Fire
Now,
bombs.
those will be useful. Now, Sid, you were a spear and shield man.
I
right?
was a silver spear, and then I ended up upgrading it to like the Moonlight Butterfly, I think it was called.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The magic spear. Here we go. What does that say? Huh.
Ah, yes.
That's you got to give him a nice gesture now.
Important gesture.
Yeah.
I am, if not.
And of course, there's some very iconic gestures in this game.
That's
right.
Oh yeah, they are.
How do you?
I would just scroll left. and right.
Enough of that. I think there's something back in here.
Yeah, you can actually go down these the elevator. If you go up the
Yeah.
stairs, and there's a few items you can pick up there, and then you can kind of double back from the graveyard.
Gosh, I love the rolling through vases has never felt better.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
It's a staple. It's a staple of the Dark Souls series.
Yep.
Oh, a bunch of boxes and braces. I better just roll through all those.
Yep.
You never know. There could be an item back there.
Yep. Or something terrible.
Mm.
Or they're full of poison.
Right.
Yeah, that's always great. Or it's a mimic. Those are great too.
Yeah, we're mimics in the
Yeah.
first game?
There's
Yeah.
just
Okay.
a handful of them.
Oh, there it is.
Ah, the Morning Star.
Should I
yes,
swap to it, you
there we
think?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like cracked red orbs. Yeah.
I don't remember what half this stuff does, if I'm honest with you.
That's
There's
okay.
a lot of items, and
We don't need to borrow. Yeah, borrow with it. I definitely.
there's a little
A
crack
little
in the
crack,
wall.
yeah.
I think it's to the left.
We'll find it. It's all part of the fun.
No. Explosion. There it is.
There we go. Just got to get to the right angle.
Definitely remember the first time I played this.
Oh.
Also, now be careful.
Yeah.
So,
So Lloyd's
Whoa.
Talismans, they
Nice.
allow you to stop Estic's recovery in a small area.
Let's just get out of here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that the graveyard area.
Great
it's
for
a
grinding.
Yeah, it's a higher level area. Oh, he followed you out.
I said you might be blocking yourself into a corner here. Can you get out through here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's another item up here.
You didn't know about this item? up
I
there?
didn't. I don't think I knew about this item up
Huh.
here. Interesting.
That's for us Dark Souls pros.
Ah yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Us professionals.
yeah, that couldn't have been more perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
so
try
you want to
lose-
go from the left up
Yep.
here up the stairs.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
Just make sure he's not sneaking up on me.
Yeah, it's an interesting area. The Firelink area is, kind of the hub area, but there are multiple ways to go from there. And the devs obviously they wanted to show you that there's areas that you could try, but it's
I knew that guy was coming.
it's maybe try to find another route.
Oh yeah.
Dark Souls is not a game that you can really charge through. There are ways to do it, but it's trying to get into areas that are outside of your kind of experience level and your character level can get really difficult very quickly, as is shown by the graveyard area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I took one swing at that scout and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
I took like a pixel of damage off of him.
Yeah.
Not going to work.
Yeah, and there's definitely an adjustment period where you you learn that through exploration as
Yep.
opposed to like waypointing, right?
Yeah.
It's memorization is a lot of it, I'm going to be honest with you. Like when you start to realize the patterns that different characters fight in.
Totally.
And I think for a lot of fans that played this originally are going to have a great time kind of re-experiencing it, kind of
Yep.
like Sid's doing now.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot that people have forgotten, or maybe have small memories of, oh, I remember doing that, but I can't remember exactly where that was. So I think that'll be great for people to kind of rekindle, to use that term.
Well done, Dalton. Well done.
Their love for the title.
This is so fun.
Watch out for those rats.
Yeah,
because if you get
poison, right?
poisoned, it's no fun.
Gonna have a bad time. Yeah, this is kind of me playing against type here. I normally am heavy on the spears and the long distance stuff, or the fire longsword in Dark Souls 2 was my go-to.
I mean, I don't want to, pick favorites, but I think you're doing a little better than Zach did.
Yeah, I think that's a fact.
Yeah, well, I would say that, I was trying to present the game in a very specific way.
Oh,
using
nice.
different camera
In a bad way.
angles.
Ooh, nice. That was a good block.
Oh yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Boom.
Yeah, let's get some parries up in
Yeah,
here.
if you're
too.
feeling really brash, you could try some parries.
I always thought that was a high-risk maneuver, and I preferred the sort of fundamentals,
It is for higher level players. You're right, Sid.
mhm.
Did you guys
don't
ever
overpush it.
experiment at all or play at all in the PvP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
So- Yeah, so fun fun bit of
I'm scared,
information.
actually, about going in there.
Dark Souls Remastered will have 6-player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's up from 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a big upgrade.
Yeah.
And it's critical to getting past some of these boss encounters. I wish I could call in some help up ahead here, actually. Oh, a glimmer of an item. Yeah, that was another breakthrough moment for me. I was playing this game, and I was trying to solo everything, and I was kind of unclear about how multiplayer worked. And I realized, you know,
Oh.
so cool, right? Looks great.
Wow.
Nothing to worry about.
Oh.
But when you realize, oh, you can actually summon in other players to help you with bosses, especially if you're having a tough time, it's no big deal.
Yep. Yeah, that's another good way to kind of like ease that ramp a little bit.
Yep. It's a big help. Like those gargoyles, I could never have gotten past those gargoyles.
Yep.
Round shield's probably better than this, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I think anything's better than this.
There's also a vendor down here that you can
right.
buy a bow and arrow and a few other items from.
Definitely attacked them on my first playthrough, and
I like that was a bold play, just right in the menu while being fired at.
Yeah, it's fine.
Here's your spear friends.
Yep. See, this is real annoying.
there we go.
Yeah, if you kill NPCs in this, they're dead forever. Right?
Yes, NPCs, yes.
Not
Yeah,
the
you
enemies.
don't-
Friendly NPCs.
Yeah,
yes.
you don't want to accidentally.
Oh,
headshot.
down I go. All right, Zach.
You don't want to accidentally kill the vendors.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Or if you really want to be devious, you can just do it intentionally.
Yeah, but there's not much to be gained from that unless you have. Yeah.
No.
You were so close to a bonfire, Sid.
I know. I'm sorry, but it's all part of the fun, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is Dark
I
Souls.
don't know, we're running a little long here. I don't know if we're gonna make it to the tourist demon. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, just blast through all this. This is another.
Oh. No.
All right, Zach.
I just keep with it. Keep with it.
I would say maybe guys let's call that a wrap on the episode.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
You need what's it called in pinball? Like right when your ball goes away and they give you like the save. That's what you're gonna get
the
right.
pity ball. Yeah,
Pity ball.
exactly. Awesome. Well, thanks for bringing this by, Dalton.
Yeah, we could play this all day. I mean, we could cancel the rest of my meetings as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But,
Let's see. I mean, it would be. Where are we here? Hurrah! Yeah. What else? Everyone's. Unfortunately, we don't have the best gesture yet.
yeah.
No, we can't praise the sun quite yet. Or we have to find our boy Solaire.
Yep.
Yeah, but of course, I'm glad you guys could get a chance to play it. Rekindle your love for the title. All the fans can expect this game on PlayStation and PlayStation Pro on May 25th, 2018. So
Not
I know
long.
there's a lot of not long. I know there's a lot of really excited fans out there. So we can't wait to bring you kind of definitive Dark Souls experience to the PS4.
Looking great. Thanks, Dalton.
Sure,
Thanks,
no
Dalton.
problem.
PlayStation